2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome. Glad you could join us here on 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Next to me, Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, we'll be watching the Utah Jazz playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Looking at the Thunder, they got their season rolling with a nice win in their first game. Now we'll find out if they can build on it and open with back-to-back victories. Guys, coaches who have moved from college to the NBA have generally had a tough time making that adjustment. But after 19 seasons at the University of Florida, Billy Donovan done pretty well in OKC, hasn't he?
Well, he got the Thunder within one game of the NBA Finals, and that's, pretty impressive. It's different team now, no KD, but he still established himself as a great coach.
He was a humble player. As a coach, he came in humble. He said, how can I bring value to the team? He brought accountability, discipline, and composure.
Maybe you can take that attitude as well. Maybe you can look at this team and say, how can I bring value to the team?
Why would I do that, Ernie?
Excellent point. Here's Kevin Harlan.
UK Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with a broadcast from Utah, downtown Salt Lake City, Utah, the home of the Jazz. This is Kevin Harlan at the table alongside Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge from the sideline. Well, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they won their last contest, that game against the New York Knicks.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
I mean, you'd have to question their effort, Greg. They did a great job at penetrating and kicking out. The defense simply wasn't up to the task.
And it's going to be the Jazz off the tip. So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Anthony is out there with Steven Adams. And it's George in at the 3 slot. Now, here's Ingles.
Rubio.
Back to Rubio. Just 5 on the clock. And it's going to be a 3-second call. And a couple of big-time pivots going head-to-head tonight. Doris, looking at the NBA right now, how has that center position evolved on both ends of the floor?
Well, it seems to me that increasingly, unless you're a shot maker from the perimeter, you can't find time on an NBA floor. So certainly they've become more perimeter-oriented. The ability to at least make a mid-range jump shot helps the spacing on the floor. And then obviously on the defensive end, Kevin, the more valuable you are is based on can you switch and pick and roll situations, guard a variety of positions, say 3, 4, 5, and if necessary in an absolute pickle, can you stay with a guard if you've got to switch a pick and roll between a big and small.
Ingles against George. Rubio with it. And here's Gobert. Utah needs to get off a shot here. Here's Favors. And not going to go. He misses the first attempt on the night. Westbrook with it. Now guarded by Hood. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
Boy, what about last season for Russell Westbrook? Not only the numbers he put up, but the jaw-dropping plays he delivered. And he helped this Thunder team to a season where many thought they'd be out of the playoff picture. He gets them into the playoffs. Incredible journey.
And the first one drops. And for Westbrook, you have to look at his season in a historical context. It was so great. Doris, his contributions to his team in every facet of the offense, and how much his team depended on him from start to finish.
You're correct, Kevin. And it's not just the average of a triple-double, right? It went beyond that. It was his competitive spirit and a willingness to absorb the loss of an all-time great player, put his team on his back, and get them back to the playoffs. Truly incredible.
And one thing you have to say about Russell Westbrook, he is an absolute star. I mean, the type of player you can build around and win with. Just the total package on the offensive end of the floor.
Now, here's Ingles. He's coming off a 10-point game against Minnesota.
But it didn't deter him from attacking defensively. His pressure was terrific. He also got 3 steals in that game.
The numbers Westbrook put up last season in his MVP run, Greg, just staggering.
And you figured his numbers would get a bump, but I don't think anybody could have expected this guy to average a triple-double. I mean, arguably the most impactful superstar in the league.
Yeah, Kevin, there are nights where it's impossible to stop Paul George. He is such a strong guy who knows how to convert through these plays.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. On the free throw, no good.
Well, you got to love the passion of Paul George. He plays with his heart. I mean, this guy is a standout player who has the drive to be an all-time great.
Now here's Westbrook. He picked up 27 points in their last win against New York.
And it was a big game for him at the defensive end as well. He never stopped pressuring the basketball, coming up with one steal after another.
Now here's Ingles. Following the miss by Russell Westbrook. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going.
And just the kind of start you're hoping to avoid. 1 for 5 from the field here early on.
Right over the D.
Well, don't underestimate the in-between game of Rodney Hood. This guy can make shots from just about anywhere.
Screen by Adams. There's the pass to Roberson. Anthony with the screen on Hood. Here's Roberson. He drains the turnaround jump shot.
And you can see there the defender gets caught up on the pick.
Well, you've simply got to push through that, right? You need to at least contest the shot. Otherwise, he's going to knock it down.
And Rubio kicks to Ingles. Favors with the screen. Back to Rubio. Offline with his 3. Oklahoma City leading by 4. Anthony drives in. It's deflected. They recover it. And that one drops. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And Rodney Hood selected with the 23rd pick in the 2014 draft by Utah. What a great pickup for the Jazz. Wow.
Well, we're talking about a 6'8" shooting guard with a high skill level. And when Rodney Hood is aggressive and confident, he can be a major impact player in the league.
Shooting 2.
first one falls for him. Greg, when you think about the franchises in the league that have sustained success, who are always competitive, Oklahoma City should be right there at the top.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the records for the Thunder, and their success really does speak for itself. 8 straight seasons of 500 or better basketball. Only the Spurs and Rockets can also make that claim.
Already, Doris, several elite rookies are struggling. We often see top high school players making the seamless jump to college. Why is that next jump from college to pro so much more difficult?
Well, I think every level of basketball that you go up, whether it's high school to college and then college to pro, there's a different level of physicality. The players take an extraordinary jump both in their approach to the game, their level of professionalism, what their physical and mental maturation state is. So the NBA has the best players not only from the United States, but from across the world. And so obviously there's a level of preparation that's required on a day-to-day basis, and the season is so much drastically longer from the college, which plays about 32 to 40 games, to an 82-game regular season, and then if you're fortunate enough to be in the playoffs. So there's a level of endurance required in addition to both the physical and mental maturation standpoint.
The Thunder leading by 6. Here's George. Rebound, Utah. Gobert's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Thunder shooting 36% in this first quarter, trying to get their bearings. Rubio against Westbrook. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Ricky Rubio picks one up.
And Paul George kind of made it known of his desire to leave for LA after this season, but big risk for the Thunder to make that move and trade for him.
Oklahoma City shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. First free throw is good. And for Paul George, who knows what the future holds for him, but Greg, he is a great fit, it would seem, for the Thunder.
Listen, you give the Thunder another star to pair with Westbrook, and they're taking a leap of faith here with George.
Both free throws good from Westbrook.
Boy, he's just been so consistent, right? I mean, every time he's gotten to the stripe, he's delivered. This is great stuff.
Favors sets the pick for Rubio. To the inside. Here's Favors. Drops it in from 14 feet away. Favors has got his first points in this one.
Well, Derek Favors has developed terrific form, and it's nice to see him continue to develop this mid-range.
And George kicks to Anthony. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. They get Derek Favors. Well, you could feel the clock ticking for Melo's time in New York, and this offseason, it finally ended, Greg.
Yeah, and for a team like this to add Melo to the mix, what a blessing. I mean, Melo still has a ton of offense to offer, and hard to add a player so skilled as Melo for practically nothing.
And he makes the first.
And guys, it was just announced last season that the Jazz had transferred the team's ownership to a legacy trust intended to keep the team in Utah for generations to come. Apparently, the move is a first of its kind in major North American pro sports.
And Anthony drops them both. Greg, you look at the Jazz, that legacy trust means that all profits are reinvested right back into the team.
I mean, a tremendous move, recognizing that the team belongs to Utah and the people of Salt Lake City. This is truly a community asset.
Now here's Gobert. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. With the teardrop, Ingles can't get it to go. On offense, here are the Thunder. They're on a 14-6 run. Westbrook against Rubio. And Westbrook gets it to go. Westbrook's got 6.
I like to watch Russell Westbrook mix it up inside. This guy can jump shoot, drive it, or if you give him a close window, he'll finish that as well.
Timeout is called, first of the game for the Jazz, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And given their performance in that game, which was not necessarily a work of art, I had a hard time believing it wound up being as close as it did.
Yeah, it felt like the other side simply allowed them to hang in, and the score reflected that.
Mitchell, he's checked in for Rodney Hood. Well, with this break, let's check out just how the rebounding has been divided up in this game between the front and back court for the Thunder.
And the guards have really chipped in on the glass. I mean, gang rebounding has been critical for them as they built this big lead. You see the effort 1 through 5.
Here's Rubio. And David Aldridge spoke with Quinn Snyder. David?
Well, Kevin, when I asked him about the defensive game plan, he said they have to clog up the middle and deny clean looks at the basket. If they can do that, he thinks they'll have the upper hand. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David.
And the thing that really sticks out when you look at Derek Favors, his defensive versatility. You know, he can guard the 4s or the 5s on the inside or out. And to have a player like that, it allows your team to excel.
Two.
And he makes the first. And despite Favors' size and strength, he really moves his feet well.
And that's tremendously valuable in today's NBA. The ability to stay in front of smaller men in switches and pick and rolls. He has terrific lateral mobility.
Dante Exum, he's checked in for Utah. And then for Oklahoma City, Alex Abrinas comes in for Andre Robertson. That's Felton in for Russell Westbrook.
But I think for Derek Favors, it's a matter of continuing to improve your game, especially on the defensive end of the floor.
Adams with the screen on Ingles. George passes to Abrinas. Bangs home the trifecta. And the Thunder lead by 10.
And from the opening tip, they have been in complete control of this one.
Yeah, you know, it looks like they wanted it more. Outstanding hustle and determination throughout. I'll tell you, Kev, they wouldn't object if all their looks were that close.
Screen by Adams. They set the pick. Here's George. Adams dishes to Felton. Feeds it to Carmelo. Over Gobert. That's short off the rim.
Well, it's not the defense that caused that miss. That one's all on him.
Down low. Back to Favors. Nice ball movement by Utah. Favors sets the pick for Ingles. Can't hit that one.
Well, they've been playing some tough defense on him in this period, and it's starting to affect him. This guy's having trouble finding the target right now.
Anthony kicks to Adams. The dish to Felton. Pass to Abrinas. From the stripe. Adams right side. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Jazz trail by 8. Mitchell passes to Favors. Favors with the screen. Here's Exum. And finished off by Exum.
A terrific read from Dante Exum. This guy sees the lane and attacks it with ferocity.
Oklahoma City shooting just 35% to start the game. Felton kicks to Abrinas. Pass to Adams. Outside, George. Over Ingles. Outside for Felton. 4 on the clock. A three-pointer, no good.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
Drains it from beyond the arc.
Well, how about the outstanding vision from the crafty point guard, Dante Exum, seeing the floor beautifully.
Now, here's Felton. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Trying to get back on track. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. They get Derek Favors. We have a number of young teams in the league, Doris, with a lot of talent, but not many wins. Still in the process of learning how to win. What can a coach do to keep them confident and inspire them through the tough times, the growing pains?
You know, Kev, I think one thing you always hear coaches talk about is the process, and you can't skip steps. And so I think if you throw yourself into trying to get better every single day, and I would say look no further than Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, who started their careers on an Oklahoma City team that barely broke double-digit wins in the NBA, but both were diligent, both kept to the course, and both continued to work hard. And now you've got 2 guys who really are MVP-level kind of guys.
And don't you see the stair step, too, for a guy like Kawhi Leonard, who every year picks up something different to do to enhance his overall game?
You know, that's a great point. The Spurs would tell you they built his game brick by brick.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Udo's checked in for Gobert. Jerebko comes in for Derek Favors. And it's Johnson in for Joe Ingles. Raymond Felton hits them both.
And the Utah Jazz, historically, they've always been one of the better franchises in the NBA. And it was nice to see them back in the playoffs in 2017 after that 4-year rebuilding phase. It tied their longest playoff drought since the team moved to Utah.
Here's Mitchell. 11 points last game. Shoots off a screen. A second chance effort. Doubled by Felton. Here's Udo. And another shot. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's Eustace. Over Johnson. Rebounded by Jerebko. And this Jazz organization operating in a small market, but over the years, so competitive.
Yeah, you know, and a lot of times teams want to take shortcuts to contention. The Jazz know they're not going to win the free agent bidding wars. That creates a kind of discipline that they're looking to build from within.
Here is Felton after Joe Johnson scored. Here's Abrinas, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And the foul goes against Utah. First trip to the line for him here.
Last year, 90%, and he was right there among the best in the league with that percentage.
First free throw is good. The one thing we saw with the Thunder last postseason, Doris, is that when Russell Westbrook comes off the floor, this team sometimes lost its direction.
Yeah, but now with Paul George in the fold, it makes sense to stagger their minutes. That way they won't have such a dramatic drop-off if Russell Westbrook leaves the floor.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And trailing here in the early going, too many careless fouls, and they're giving up a lot of trips to the line.
Mitchell dishes to Udo. It's taken away by Collison. Felton kicks to Eustace. Baseline try. They get a hand on it, and it's out of bounds. The Thunder able to retain possession. Let's take this chance to see which of last season's teams had the most second chance points in the league. 5th on the list, the Thunder.
This was a team that was really savvy when it came to getting position under the boards and then getting those offensive putbacks.
Here's Felton. Pass to Abrinas. Here's Eustace. He's guarded by Johnson. Eustace kicks to Abrinas. Here's Patterson. Just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances, but came up empty. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That is his first foul of the game. Jazz trail by 5. There's 57 seconds left to play in the first. Exum kicks to Jerebko. Nice ball movement by Utah. There's a good screen. Now, here's Exum. He's guarded closely.
And you can see they're struggling from the field.
Can't cash in from the high post. Here's Felton. Got a piece of it, and he gets it back. The pass to Eustace. Abrinas kicks to Eustace. Second chance shot. Rebound, Utah. And going against Oklahoma City, their first meeting of the year.
And on paper, you call them the better team, but they actually lost the season series against this group a year ago.
Here is Felton. Three seconds left. Here's Collison, and it's good, but hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And it looks like they are going to review the play. The question, did he get the basket off in time?
And honestly, guys, in real time, I couldn't really see whether he got it off in time. But with the benefit of replay, it seems pretty clear that the clock expired just before the release.
And it looks like they got it right this time. No basket. The clock had expired while the ball was still in his hand.
Yeah, and even if they don't show it, I know the refs are proud of themselves after a replay proves them right. They're like, see, we had it right all along. So good call, fellas.
And that does it for the first quarter. Thunder lead by 5. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. And Russell Westbrook, a guy who has faced some criticism, but also a guy who is extremely critical of himself.
It's tough, and I'm still learning every night to be able to come out, to know when to score, to know when to pass, to know when to be aggressive, to know when to slow down. It can be tough at times because I want to do so well, and I want my teammates to do so well, and I want to win so bad.
Well, you have to love the competitive attitude, the desire to be great, not just for himself, but for his teammates, too.
And the emphasis on winning. That's why so many people in the league feel that it's just a matter of time before Westbrook puts those finishing touches on his game.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. What do you guys think about the Thunder here in this one?
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnovers.
Feels like they're getting a lot of deflections, hands-on basketballs resulting into steals. This has been pretty to watch.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So the Thunder 5 right now. Patrick Patterson is out there with Eustace. Then there's Nick Collison. Then there's Felton. And it's Abrinas in at the 2. Joe Johnson on the wing. He kicks it to Udo. Dishes it to Exum. Clock at 6. He feeds it to Mitchell. Three-pointer. Yep, it goes, and the Oklahoma City lead is cut down to just 2 points with the bucket from Johnson.
You love how Joe Johnson goes straight up with that shot. He doesn't hesitate for a second. There are two things, guys, as you know, that age gracefully in the NBA, and that's size and shooting. No coincidence that Joe Johnson remains a very effective player, even as he enters his mid-30s.
Patterson can't get it to go.
Simply have to go up stronger than that. Could be a simple layup if he shows a little more determination.
A different look for Utah. Rodney Hood comes in for Mitchell, and Ricky Rubio subbed in for Exum. Then for the Thunder, Andre Robertson, he's checked in for Alex Abrinas. And Russell Westbrook subbed in for Raymond Felton. And in his 16th NBA season, Joe Johnson, Doris, experiencing life as a reserve for the first time.
And what a luxury, bringing a player of his caliber off the bench. This guy's so well-rounded. We know he's a great shooter, but he's willing to defend, to rebound, and he can make quality passes. So much to like about this guy's game.
Here's Westbrook. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Westbrook's got 8.
Very hard to match the speed of Russell Westbrook. He's got change of speed and blow-by ability.
Jazz trail by 4. Rubio, the pass to Udo. Hood kicks to Udo. There's the pick. Outside Hood. "11 feet away." The rebound by Patterson. Oklahoma City leading by 4. And Roberson kicks to Patterson. Pass to Eustace. He dishes it to Collison. Passes it to Eustace. Utah with the rebound. Now Johnson. He's got 5, and the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That is his first foul of the game. Now here's Rubio. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Hood dishes to Urebko. Johnson the screen. Outside Hood. Just 5 to shoot. Inside. Udo uses the glass to finish the layup. Udo's got 4 points now in the quarter.
I really admire the presence of mind from Rodney Hood. He's terrific at realizing when one of his teammates is wide open.
It's stolen by Johnson. Rubio outside on the wing. Johnson. The feed to Udo. Outside Hood. 6 to shoot. And it's Hood again missing. The Thunder with the lead. Westbrook kicks to Patterson. Here's Roberson. Feeds it to Patterson. They set the pick. Pass to Eustace. And the rejection by Udo. Rubio, the pass to Urebko. Back to Rubio. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Boy, now you have to think about pulling him. 3 fouls already in this half. A 4th would be inexcusable.
And Utah making a change here. Gobert's checked in. And then for Oklahoma City, Adams, he's checked in for Collison. Anthony comes in for Patrick Patterson. And Georgia subbed in for Josh Eustace. Rubio dishes to Johnson. It's good. This game is all even. Johnson's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
No, Johnson isn't just an outside shooter. This guy is a versatile, talented scorer in the paint.
Well, you talk about the very definition of what a defensive specialist is, Doris, and that is Andre Roberson.
Right. What you love about Roberson is he can match up with multiple positions on the defensive end. One thing you worry about, obviously, is teams when he is on the offensive end, they're going to give him a lot of shots because he's yet to prove he can consistently knock those down.
First free throw is good. Doris, you were born in New York, became the first female analyst to ever call a Knicks game. Talk about the emotions that night, having traveled that incredible journey.
You know, Kev, it was both magical and nerve-wracking. You know, I grew up a Knicks fan when there was a healthy Bernard King, and the league had absolutely nothing for him when he was doing work on the low post. Hubie Brown was an idol of mine, but it was also nerve-wracking to be the first woman to sit in Clyde Frazier's seat. It was sort of awe-inspiring and a ton of fun.
Johnson kicks to Ingles. Nice ball movement by Utah. Johnson the screen. The dish now to Gobert. Rubio. Out of bounds. Oklahoma City takes possession.
And here's a look at some stats for Westbrook. Coming off a terrific season. He was around 31 points a game last year, 10 assists and 10 rebounds. And with his great passing, he's been a catalyst for their offense, often seeing plays even before they materialize.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Great anticipation, excellent peripheral vision. His talents are really shining through.
Adams against Gobert. Adams, the pass to George. And George with the stuff.
Well, you have to respect the focus of Paul George, not letting the defense alter his shot.
Jazz trail by 3. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Gobert dishes to Hood. Westbrook with the steal. Gobert with the block.
An intimidating force who continues to wipe away shots with ease. Go to work, Rudy Gobert.
And Rubio kicks to Gobert. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. 6 points for Rudy Gobert.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Adams outside. Kicks it to Robertson. Anthony against Johnson. Outside, George. And the pass to Robertson. Out to the right wing. Here's Westbrook. No good on that one. Good D by Rubio.
Well, the struggles from the field continue for this guy. The way it's going, he shouldn't be more than a secondary option for them at this point.
Hood gets the bucket.
Boy, that's the vision and ability to deliver precise passes. Rubio completely on point.
Baseline jumper. Buries the jump shot. And that's 10 points for Russell Westbrook.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Johnson the screen. And here's Ingles outside. The Thunder pull it in. Roberson's got 4 rebounds in this game. Westbrook against Rubio. Westbrook drives in. Outside for George. On the 3 off target. Oh, here we go. Rubio's got it in a fast break chance. Hood gets the bucket.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Oklahoma City trailing. Left side, Westbrook. Shoots over Rubio. Westbrook can't get it to go. Utah's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Ingles passes to Rubio. And Gobert kicks to Hood. Gobert the screen. Rubio outside. Dishes it to Gobert. It's stolen by Adams. Here's George. Ingles with the rebound.
Great contest by the defender, but that's a dunk you've got to put down in his face.
And Adams sends it back.
And the defense of Steven Adams is so important to this team. They depend on him to be a rim protector now. Well, Paul George has made himself into one of the premier 2-way perimeter players in the NBA. I think you have to put him in that category with Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James. He can take over a game in every facet, guys.
That's good from George. Endorsed Paul George, capable of carrying a team offensively while also locking down the other team's top wing threat.
And that, to me, Kev, is one of the hardest things to do in this league. To expend the energy necessary to be an elite 2-way player, Paul George is the real deal.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Derek Favors checked in for Johnson. Mitchell comes in for Hood, and it's Dante Exum in for Ricky Rubio. And both free throws good for Paul George. Utah trailing here. Exum with it. Fires from 14. Pass to Mitchell. Exum kicks to Favors. He feeds it to Mitchell. Back to Favors. On the wing, Ingles. Defended by George. And the basket by Ingles. We've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game. Just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Pass to Abrinas. Gobert with the block. Here's Mitchell. They get the rebound. Here's Favors. And at last, they get one to fall. Favors has got 5 now. Thunder trailing by 3. And here is Felton. Screen by Adams. Felton gets to Adams. A 3-ball. Again, the miss by Felton.
And if you're looking for the main reason that they're trailing in this game, well, look no further than his shooting. I mean, he has hit exactly 0% of his shots.
Gobert down low. He's covered by Felton. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not. But sure enough, they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. Rudy Gobert, not really a post-up threat, but he's become very effective in the pick and roll.
I think he's focused, Kevin, on setting better screens, and he's shown flashes. Pretty pass here, a dribble move there. I think you see the potential beyond just dunks and offensive rebounds for the Stifle Tower.
The first free throw is good.
Well, Rudy Gobert is figuring out how to play to his strengths, right? He's out there to board it, to reject shots, a terrific 5-man in the NBA.
And Gobert drops them both. And a major renovation completed by the Jazz at the team's expense, over $110 million, Doris, to bring this 25-year-old facility up to date.
Well, everyone will benefit, right? New locker rooms for the players, better seating and suites for the fans, a new outdoor atrium that includes a solar roof. Even those who can't get into the game benefit. Large screens will broadcast the game to fans who are in the outdoor plaza. How cool is that?
Thunder trailing by 7. Here's Felton, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
Listen, Ray Felton is a very dependable point guard. Fantastic floor general who just takes good shots and makes outstanding reads.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
Had a success rate from the line last year of about 78%.
Good from Raymond Felton. Doris, back in college, you were named to the All-Big East team. What an honor. You've been a broadcaster for Big East games in college basketball. Any players from that conference who would say, in your opinion, are better pros than they were in college?
Well, I think Josh Hart from Villanova would be a player that I'm curious to see what level of effect he has at the NBA level. He's not a guy who's going to blow you away with his athleticism, but all he did at Villanova was win. He's got 1 national championship to his credit. He was an effective two-way player in the Big East. Does he translate to the pros? I can't wait to see.
And Doris, multiple years at the college game, too.
Kevin, I think that perception is changing. There was a time where if you were a 4-year college player, you were frowned upon in the NBA. I think because of the age and experience, GMs and coaches are now looking at those guys who spend multiple years in college in a vastly different and much more positive light.
Very interesting thought. Thunder trailing by 6. He kicks to Patterson. Pass to Abrinas. He dishes it to Collison. Patterson, the screen. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
And Favors kicks to Yarebko. Now, here's Exum. He's covered by Felton. Just 3 to shoot from 11 feet away. Second shot opportunity, and the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
Well, you love how Dante Exum gets inside. He's got terrific touch close.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And 79% from the line a season ago. Pretty consistent there as a free throw shooter.
That's good from Exum.
Look, guys, Dante Exum was the #5 pick by Utah back in 2014. He's yet to kind of deliver the consistent impact you might expect, but I think he'll get there.
Here's the feed to Patterson. Here's Abrinas. 5 points in the game. Stolen by Mitchell. It's 2-on-1. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. And now it's an 11-point Jazz lead. 12 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Now Felton. Here's Abrinas. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And so it's Utah. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. The defensive work they've done against Paul George has been a big factor. He hasn't done anywhere near the kind of damage we expected. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Joined by Coach Quinn Snyder. Quinn, your team is competing at a very high level. What do you think that's happening?
Well, we're trying to defend, and we've been a little bit fortunate too. They've missed some shots, but more than anything, we just want to try to guard and make it hard on them.
Got to make them feel you. Thanks, Quinn. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime show on 2K Sports. Utah found themselves in a close game in the first. They did give up a couple baskets more than they wanted to, and at the end of the period, were trailing by 5 points. They're in a terrific position now thanks to their flawless execution in the second quarter. Some excellent work offensively now has them up 11 at the break. And Shaq, what did you think about what we saw from Utah?
The area where they impressed me the most has been on the boards. When the shot's gone up, everybody goes for it. It's just a matter of maintaining that energy, playing with that same kind of aggression in the final 2 quarters.
And over to Kenny, your thoughts on the Thunder.
They need to make major adjustments on the offense. Whatever their game plan was going into this game, scrap it. It's not been effective. The shots they were taking were not good shots. They need to find a way to spring guys open where they can shoot a better percentage.
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
We welcome you back now to Salt Lake City with a breathtaking view of the layout of this beautiful town. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. They trail by 11. Hill and Hood in the backcourt. Ingles at small forward with Favors at the 4. And it's Gobert in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group starting the second half for Quinn Snyder. Adams with the screen on Gobert. Clock at 4. Gobert with the block. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. This is the list of last season's top shooters from the charity stripe. These guys were practically automatic. Fifth best, Paul George.
He was locked and loaded from the free throw line all season. Never suffered through any real lulls in that department.
And Rubio kicks to Gobert. Outside Hood. The Jazz working the ball around now. They set the pick. Here's Favors, and Utah again with the bucket.
You're right. Something has to change in their defensive approach. They're making things far too hard on themselves right now.
Westbrook dishes to Carmelo. Adams, the pass to Roberson. Here's Westbrook, and the rejection by Favors.
Derek Favors using that long frame to send that back twice on the pipes, Kevin.
They get it back. Another shot. The second effort, and it's good on the layup. Favors has got 4 points in the quarter.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Westbrook against Rubio. Westbrook with the bucket.
Well, this has become his bread and butter. The mid-range game has been good to Russell Westbrook.
And Rubio kicks to Gobert. Feeds it to Favors. Puts it up. And the bank shot is good. Favors got 11.
Boy, in the second half, just hitting a much higher percentage of his shots. Really looks composed now.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Westbrook. Adams dishes to Carmelo. Good on the 13-footer. Anthony's got his second basket of the game.
Just so fluid on all his shots. No hesitation for Melo on the catch and shoot.
And Rubio kicks to Gobert. Now here's Ingles. He has 5. 14 feet away. And too long on the shot.
And as he squares up from mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, classic example of crowding the shooter, not letting him get comfortable in the mid-range.
And the Jazz have been one of the more old-school franchises. Pounded inside, grind out victories. They're still a tough defensive team, but Doris, Coach Quinn Snyder is receptive to a wide-open style of play.
Right. Quinn wants them to play with pace, look for easy opportunities. He also likes power forwards who can stretch the floor. He understands that's the way the league is going, and he's on board with it.
And it's George finishing it off.
Well, Kevin, if you allow Paul George loose in fast break situations, he's an absolute force in the open floor.
Rubio with it. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Hood kicks to Ingles. Rubio the pass to Gobert. The dish to Hood. Gobert with a screen for Hood. From deep. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Hood.
And here's a look at some numbers for Ricky Rubio. Last year, getting it done. Averaged about 11 points a game, 9 assists and 4 rebounds. And when he takes over at the point, he really keeps the offense flowing.
Well, this is a guy who brings a solid skill set. Excellent ball handler, high level of playmaking, the perfect backup point.
And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Russell Westbrook is an elite talent. He knows how to make tough shots.
And you watch the Thunder play, and they are just so physical with teams. They will bump you inside and outside and do everything they can do to let you know they are going to lock things down.
Well, look up and down the roster, Kevin, and you're going to see very physical players. Steven Adams and Russell Westbrook set the tone. But you can't expect to play the Thunder and not be needing a little ice bath after the game.
And that one misses.
I don't know what to talk about first. The explosiveness, the smarts. This guy, Russell Westbrook, one of the best athletes in the league and just getting smarter and smarter about how to attack.
Rubio with it. Now Anthony defending. Favors sets the pick for Rubio. Just 5 to shoot. Tries to snap the cold streak. They grab their own miss. Kicks it to Johnson. Gobert the screen. Now the pass to Favors. Over Anthony. Another miss by Utah. Thunder trailing by 7. In the corner, George with it. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
We call that masterful use of the pump fake. Paul George effective getting guys to jump on it.
And last season for Melo was a bit of a circus. A lot of barbs being traded through the media between him and Knicks management. Neither party, Doris, pleased with what was happening, and it was a distraction to his play on the floor.
I think Melo is probably looking forward to putting that behind him. The trade rumors from a season ago didn't help. They certainly took a toll on the New York Knicks, and it's very hard to be a productive player with that much going on outside the confines of the lines.
And the first one drops. George drops them both. And for a Jazz team that had patiently built itself into one of the top teams in the league, how tough is it, Doris, to lose a player like Gordon Hayward?
Well, it's brutal. He was their best player, an all-star, a huge blow. Because you think about Utah fans who have harbored concerns historically about the team's ability to retain star talent. This will feed those doubts, Kev.
Here's Oklahoma City now. It's a 12-2 run here. Good pace.
You can see Russell Westbrook building the confidence of his teammates, fires it to them when they're open.
Here is Rubio. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Gobert with a screen on Westbrook. Rubio dishes to Hood. Just 5 on the clock. The putback. It's good on the putback. And the Jazz lead by 5.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
They set the pick. Westbrook passes to Carmelo. Great D that time from Favors.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Gobert, the screen. Hood kicks to Gobert. Back to Hood. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. He takes it up and lays it in. Now it's a 7-point Utah lead.
I think given his size, Rodney Hood can be very efficient on the interior. This guy feels at home in the paint.
Screen by Adams. And George gets it to go.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And Rubio kicks to Gobert. On the wing, Johnson, defended by George. Gobert, the screen. Hood drives in. Second chance shot, and Gobert with the lay-in. Gobert's got 12 points in the game.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder.
And you look back early in his career, Rudy Gobert, he kind of clogged things up just as much at the offensive end as he did defensively. And I tell you what, though, he's made significant strides, becoming much less of a liability on offense.
Looking at who's out there now for the Jazz. Udo's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Jerebko comes in for Derek Favors. Mitchell, he's checked in for Rodney Hood. And it's Dante Exum in for Ricky Rubio. And then Mitchell with the dunk.
Well, I like that he shows no hesitation there.
Boy, when he's alone in the open court, he just attacks, right? I mean, turning on the jets and finishing easily at the rim.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. There was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. And Gobert last season with career highs in field goal percentage and free throw percentage.
And he averaged double figures for the first time in his career. If you ask me, he'll be a walking double-double in this league for a long time.
Felton with the ball, and it's Johnson picking him up. Eustace kicks to Collison. Collects the two-pointer near the hoop.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Exum dishes to Jerebko. Mitchell kicks to Jerebko. They set the screen. Here's Mitchell. 6 points for him. And Utah again with the bucket.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Felton kicks to Collison. Pass to Abrinas. Passes it to Eustace. Back to Abrinas. Dishes to Collison. And the rejection by Udo. Here's Mitchell. He's got 8. Shoot from 12. Goes back up. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. While we have the time, let's take a look at last season's best transition teams. In third, the Thunder.
I mean, this is such a tough team to deal with. You see the numbers. They would just push the ball at every opportunity.
The first free throw is good.
And really, the past few seasons, the Thunder have just been a dominant team on the glass. They do a great job of limiting second chance points, and they get a lot of extra possessions with their own offensive rebounding.
And both free throws good for Udo. You look over the roster of the Thunder, and it's easy to see why they're such a great rebounding team. 1 through 5 can come up with 10 boards on any given night.
And those rebounding totals usually translate to wins for this team. Very rarely do they lose a game when they're having their way on the glass. The goal at the end of the night is to play the bully in and around that painted area.
Exum kicks to Yarebko. Here's the screen. Here's Mitchell. 8 points for him. Doubled by Collison. Mitchell passes to Udo. Second shot opportunity. Rejected by Collison. Pass to Abrinas. Back to Patterson. Over Yarebko. And with that, the Jazz lead is cut down to 8 on the bucket from Patterson.
I think the threat that Patrick Patterson poses from the mid-range is important. You simply can't ignore him there.
Here's Yarebko. Patterson defending. Mitchell kicks to Exum. Johnson right side. Pulls up on the elbow. That one doesn't go. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. The feed now to Patterson. Here's Abrinas. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall.
I'll tell you, he hasn't been able to find the mark all night. It's a big reason they're staring at this deficit.
Thunder trailing by 11. Felton dishes to Patterson. Outside Collison. Here's Eustace.
Shots, gentlemen.
Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
Joe Ingles, he's checked in for Joe Johnson. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. And 1:01 left to play in the third. Exum passes to Udo. Mitchell kicks to Udo. There's a good screen. Shot clock at 6. Goes up off the pick, and it's Mitchell with the jam.
And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up a dunk.
You know, that's why we say move without the basketball. You'll be rewarded.
Felton kicks to Patterson. Back to Felton. The pass to Abrinas. Misses the 3. Utah leading by 11. Ingles in the corner. The tray. And no good. And here is Felton. He feeds it to Patterson. Over Yarebko. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Utah out in front, up 11. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
We got to now start to anchor down defensively right now, trust each other and trust the loads. It's not just one-on-one defense, it's together.
Little help from your friends. This is what Billy wants. He wants a lot of communication, wants teamwork. And guys, you were talking during that break. Do you think his team is listening?
Well, you know, you also have to credit the other team. I always say, you know, they get checks on the 1st and 15th also. I mean, the offensive play calling is having an effect, and let's just see how they respond.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. And Oklahoma City, looking who they've got to start the fourth quarter. They've got Patrick Patterson, also Nick Collison out there. Eustace is out there with Felton, and it's Abrinas in at the 2. Jazz leading by 13. Exum kicks to Yarebko. Here's Mitchell. Feeds to Exum. Ingles in the corner. 6 to shoot. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Eustace passes to Collison. Eustace kicks to Abrinas. Patterson, the screen. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Gobert, he's checked in for Udo. Favors comes in for Yarebko. Woods checked in for Mitchell. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Dante Exum. And a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Adams, he's checked in for Collison. Paul George comes in for Eustace. Andre Robertson, he's checked in for Alex Abrinas. And Russell Westbrook subbed in for Raymond Felton. Another miss by Utah.
He needs to look to try to drive inside and get going. That outside shot is simply not there.
Westbrook dishes to George. Back to Westbrook. Gobert pulls it in. Gobert's got rebound number 19 now. Incredible board work. Rubio the pass to Favors. Favors with the screen. George against Ingles. Teardrop shot and sticking right with it. Gets the foul with the bucket and he'll go to the line.
Boy, I'll tell you, it takes a lot of confidence to go with the floater. That is not as easy as it looks.
Anthony's checked in for Patterson.
You think about what Coach Billy Donovan has had to deal with in terms of his roster makeup in his tenure in Oklahoma City. You begin with Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka. Then you lose both those guys after your first year. And now you add Paul George. Through it all, Billy has been able to keep this team competitive.
That free throw good from Anthony. And for Donovan, he came into a situation where success was expected. Not easy for a college transition coach. But at this point, he has overachieved.
Well, you certainly think that Billy Donovan deserves a ton of credit for the Thunder's success last season. Without Kevin Durant, the team easily could have fallen out of the playoff picture, but this guy helps the team move to a different style on offense and continue to keep the team competitive.
And Gobert kicks to Favors. Over Anthony. No good off the back of the rim.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
Here's the screen. Westbrook dishes to Robertson. Back to Westbrook. He kicks to George. Good. A nice assist from Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 4th assist in this one.
I'll tell you, that's the speed of Paul George on the drive. Amazing attack on the rim.
Westbrook against Rubio. Here's Favors. Again, Favors missing.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
Rubio in the corner. Looking to get back on track here. And Favors finishes it off.
Well, how much do you enjoy watching Derek Favors do his thing? This guy is a super skilled big, fantastic at capitalizing on these opportunities.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they've got to talk about.
Well, I think they've got to ramp up the pressure. There's no excuse for letting them score at will in the paint. Make them feel you.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Billy Donovan's huddle with his team. He was not pleased. He said, "You guys look dead out there." Told them they've got to play with more activity. And then he said, "This is not going to cut it. I have to see who's going to step it up, guys."
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. Utah called for the foul.
See, I don't think you can teach that. Paul George going right into contact. You love that aggressiveness.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good. Paul George. Doris, one result of the new CBA minimum contracts increasing 45%. That's a big help to the NBA's working class, I think.
Well, I don't think there's any question that you see increasingly role players, someone like Draymond Green, whose value has not necessarily translated in terms of points per game, but his value to winning can't be calculated. And you're right. You know, you see important role players and guys below the superstar level increasingly becoming better compensated. And hey, listen, there's more of the pie to go around. Who doesn't enjoy a little more cherry pie, Kev?
Good thoughts. Good thoughts. Westbrook against Rubio. George with no one around. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Outside Hood. He dishes it to Rubio. Ingles with a screen on George. And Rubio kicks to Ingles. Gobert the screen. There's a screen. And Anthony sends it back.
Oh, Melo just reading the play the right way, put in the extra effort to come up with such a nice block.
George, no good.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
No, exactly, Greg, especially when the ball is that deep inside. You've got to respect how he altered that shot.
Thunder trailing by 13. Westbrook drives in. Here's Adams, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook.
Boy, Adams showing a bit of quickness on the drive. Fantastic athleticism for a guy his size.
Rubio with it. Westbrook picks him up. Rubio the pass to Favors. Gobert the screen. Favors in the post. Anthony on him.
Well, Derek Favors has always gotten a lot of credit for his defensive abilities, but to me, his offense has come such a long way since he came out of Georgia Tech.
And Favors a good post threat. Doris, he can hit that hook shot with either hand.
And the footwork serves him well in the pick and roll. Even when the help is there, this guy can maneuver and create his own shot around the rim.
2.
And that one falls for Favors. And so Favors nails both of them. Here's Westbrook. Outside, George. Here's Anthony. Favors with the rebound. Favors has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Rubio with it. Westbrook picks him up. Rubio dishes to Gobert. Put on the wing. And Adams sends it back. And that'll be Utah as it goes out of bounds. Jazz retain possession. Rubio over Westbrook. And Gobert kicks to Ingles, and a wide open look for Hood.
He's obviously still trying to find the range. No success this quarter. You wonder what it would take to get him to pass the ball.
George passes to Roberson. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Shooting 2.
That free throw missing. And the second free throw, good. Jazz leading by 12. Now Rubio. There's the dish to Gobert. Put on the wing. Off the pick. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Well, a superb finisher, Rodney Hood, with that vertical and that length. Nicely done.
Westbrook dishes to George. Kicks to Anthony. Utah with the rebound. Favors got his 8th rebound here tonight. Here's Hood. Another shot. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Look, Kevin, 6'8". Rodney Hood is so effective at getting fouled on his way up. This guy's so smart.
And Rodney Hood played 1 season at Mississippi State, then transferred, played another season at Duke. A good floor spacer, Greg, at 6'8".
You know, it's his in-between game that impresses me. Able to beat his man off the dribble. He can hit that little pull-up or drop it off to a teammate. This guy continues to improve.
I don't know if he's tired or what, but he is definitely holding back a little bit, and he has to step his game up right now.
Now here's Westbrook over Ingles. Westbrook with the bucket.
We know Westbrook has turned himself into a terrific jump shooter. Very difficult to contest his shots.
And Rubio kicks to Gobert. And there's the pass to Hood. Here's Favors. And the shot is long.
And out of rhythm offensively, but he continues to work at it.
Well, you can see he's sputtering a bit, but he's trying to get going. I do like that he's continuing to be aggressive.
And Utah making a change here. Udo's checked in.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. And so he hits both. Here's Rubio. Pass to Hood. There's the screen. Out to Favors. Another miss by Utah.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
Well, you know, that's okay, I think. Even though they miss, they still have to be happy with the shot selection.
And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Westbrook's got 7 points here in this quarter. Rubio with it. Passes it to Udo. Put on the wing. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And the former Blue Devil continues to enhance his offensive repertoire. Rodney Hood, a reliable two-way guard.
And the first one drops. Both shots good from the stripe. Thunder trailing by 11. There's a good screen. Outside Westbrook. Dishes it to Robertson. Puts up a three. Utah with the rebound. Favors got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done.
And they've controlled the boards, and that's a big reason why they're controlling the lead.
Ingles kicks to Favors. Over Anthony. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Rubio. The feed now to Favors. Over Anthony. Again, Favors missing. Oklahoma City's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Count the basket. And that's now 19 points for George.
Well, listen, this is an aspect you've got to guard with Paul George. He's got post-up ability to go with that perimeter skill. This guy's tough.
Rubio, the pass to Favors. Over Anthony. Again, Favors missing. Thunder trailing by 9. George with the ball. Udo picks him up.
And I bet you'll never see too many guys who can put forth an effort on the boards like this one.
You know, his production has been unbelievable. Really a testament to how much he cares about his craft.
Knocked away. Rubio dishes to Hood. Favors sets the pick for Hood. From deep. And the rebound goes to the Thunder.
There are going to be times, I think, when it's okay to take a shot like that, but not on that possession.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he can make that, but that particular distance is not his specialty.
And so the ball's out of bounds. Favors touched it last.
Playing with lots of energy here, trying to cause turnovers.
I love the tenacity right now. Definitely on the prowl, looking for every opportunity to make a steal. The other team has got to be sharp.
Jerebko's checked in for Utah.
Well, he gets the separation he needs. You can't say the same for his aim, though.
Outside Hood. He feeds it to Favors. Fades and shoots. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
Well, Derek Favors a high percentage shooter for a reason, right? He takes quality, clean shots that come naturally within the flow of this offense.
Another miss by Westbrook.
Just a little hesitation on that release, right? His timing looked a bit off.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces, as it appears it'll be a nice win here for the Jazz.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you what, they're both excellent rebounding teams, and it was a tough battle underneath all game, and I think ultimately that earned the W.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And something we've come to almost expect is greatness from this guy. Such an overall great performance it was for Rudy Gobert.
Well, you couldn't help but notice how well this guy protected the rim. There was an intimidation factor thanks to his defense. No easy shots in his neighborhood tonight.
Here's Favors, and Utah again with the bucket.
And saving their best for last. Tremendous run here to seal the win.
Well, this is exactly how you put teams away. Late game execution leads to a tremendous win.
And they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
Really left alone that time.
I'll tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Oh, there's no doubt. This crowd is into it, and it's because of how well their guys have played tonight.
Rubio outside. And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. With Dante Exum, Dante, still a young guy in this league. What do you want to focus on with your development?
You know, I think it's just staying in the defensive end. You know, sometimes in the heat of the play, you kind of lose sight of it, and it's just about staying in there and just helping your teammates out. So,
a very young guy on a very good team. Thank you, Dante. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.